What's going on, everyone? So, there's a lot of stuff popping up right now about the Xbox app update on PC. So, I want you guys to listen carefully to me on this. Why I feel like this will be actually really good and very important if it leads to the next gen Xbox. If not, Microsoft are just the biggest morons because they're just making things more complicated and more bloated than it needs to be. And I'll explain that in a second. But yeah, we got two things here. And those are the main subjects. So this guy says, here's the experience of launching Spider-Man 2 from Steam using the Xbox PC launcher. The PlayStation PC game launches directly from the Xbox app. Okay? So, and then people are coming in. Obviously, this is going to be like console warring engagement. You know what I mean? Because it's pretty obvious. People coming in like this guy, PlayStation gamers right now. But the thing with this is that I could do that right now on Steam. Well, I don't understand why a PlayStation player would be affected. Their affection big time would be, or is when games went to PC day and day, like you saw what's his face, uh, JTech loses stuff because people are supporting PlayStation games on PC. This right here just means that instead of me just installing the icon only on my desktop, I want to install the icon in the Xbox app on PC. And that stuff you could always do on PC. Yeah, install it as a shortcut. Right now I have a shortcut on my Xbox app. But I'm not going to pull up my Xbox app to play a game on Steam when I could just simply pull up Steam and use less resources. If that's all they're doing for this and for the ROG Ally, then to me they're morons. Because nobody in their right mind on PC right now is going to say, oh yeah, I can't wait to pull up the Xbox app so that I can play Steam games. What? No, that doesn't make any sense to me. No, the only way this is going to be good is if you're preparing this to unify with the next gen Xbox. Oh, okay. Well, then that's huge. Then definitely for like people that are only in the console, where I can say, yeah, man, that's amazing, right? But if they're going to do that, guys, it has to have some type of PC integration. I can't see this being only a console. It doesn't make any sense because the stuff here is just like I said, it's PC stuff. This is all PC. The only way for this to be good is if the next gen Xbox is getting this. Otherwise, this literally is worthless. So going down, it says Steam on Xbox Series soon. Going over to Tom's post too, he did the same thing, but he's kind of like warring. Because this guy right here says, Vitamin C, you guys love to criticize fanboys and console wars, yet you do everything in your power to feed into it. Is it solely for engagement you get on X and YouTube to make some extra cash, or are you just hypocrites? And then it says the content creator, aka journalist who hates console wars, loves to fill the console wars. And the reason why they're saying this is because he says the Xbox app Windows is now showing Steam games, and the settings for the new Xbox full screen experience on handhelds is starting to show for some Ally owners. Then he puts this for the tip. Then he makes an article and then like kind of gates it. I'm not really a fan of the way he does things. That's all I'm going to say. But it seems like he's being a bit of if you guys get what I mean, a Microsoft, I guess you could say, well, you want to say shill? I don't know. You guys can call it whatever you want by saying this is the way some people are viewing this. Honestly, I don't care. You know what I mean? Dustin Cage says what he says too. But the thing with this is, and I like Dustin, you know what I mean? Like all his comments, but I don't see why anybody's minds would get blown when this was going to also be on Steam. I mean, it's been on Steam and they've been playing Spider-Man, and that's the least supported one. Nobody cares. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I'm not going to use more resources on my PC to say that this is running on the app when I can use less resources and max out those and use less resources to have that to perform better. I don't want bloat because that's all that is. This guy says if it's on Xbox, it should have achievements. Every game on Xbox has achievements. If not, it's just a PC game. Well, it's Sony's port on PC on Steam, and then they're playing it to the Steam, but they're putting the icon there. So if you hit play through Xbox, you're still bringing up Steam. You have to bring up Steam to do that. You can't play it through Xbox because it's not on there. That's why I said that wouldn't be on the console, because that doesn't make any sense. Because the console would need Steam in order for that to work through the Xbox app. I'm trying to help y'all get information so you can realize what this really means, how this actually works, and do not get excited for something that is not in front of your face yet on the console. Now, if Microsoft said Steam is coming to the next gen consoles, that means that the Xbox app that they're syncing on here through that would all integrate together. But if the next gen console is not getting Steam, then this is not going to work. And if Sony blocks it on here, it doesn't really matter. If you get Steam, though, on consoles and Sony blocks PlayStation games, it's still not that big of a deal because there's so many games on Steam that you're going to get outside of the PlayStation world that are not on consoles. It's way better that way. Like the biggest benefit is Steam in general, but Sony's games with Steam is a bonus because they don't have a ton of games, right? And they canceled a lot recently. So you're more interested in all the stuff that's going to be like, for example, Phantom Blade. That's not a Sony game. You'd be able to get that on Steam. You see what I mean? And for the ROG Ally, guys, it's an expensive device. No average Xbox gamer is going to say, yeah, I'm going to go pay $800 for that, even if it's not $1,000, right? Because the regular ROG Ally is $800 right now, but the one coming out is better than that. Why would that be less with tariffs? That doesn't make any sense to me. Nobody wants to buy that anyways. I've even seen the cheaper one go on sale for like $370. It's still sitting there on Best Buy at times, the cheaper Ally version. Obviously, the whatchamacallit is going to be more expensive than that. But what I'm saying is that nobody's looking to that to play the Xbox app. No, what they want is they want this to come to the consoles. That's where this would all be excited for. That's why I was saying what I said. Obviously, I'm just going to keep upgrading my PC. I don't care. I don't need it. I have my PC. But for console players, you guys want to hear this and say it. Would this come to the next-gen Xbox, though? That's the only way this would be huge to me. Otherwise, come on, guys. They're morons. Just say it. If not, what are you doing then? Because every PC player is going to say, why would I care? You know what I mean? Dude, I'm just on Steam. You know what I mean? I'm just hitting it right there. You literally just wasted my time. You know what I mean? The only reason I'm getting on this right here is for Game Pass. Or if there's something that I wanted to support out of here. But you get what I mean? So that's my thing about this. And there's more. So this person over here, Coffee, I don't know if this guy's a PlayStation fanboy or not. I've never seen his page before. Let me just see here. Proud father, YouTube content creator, PlayStation. Okay, PlayStation guy. PS5, PC. Okay. Microsoft should have just brought Game Pass integration to Steam. That's if Valve wanted that. The problem with that is that you're trying to promote people to get to train their minds not to purchase. Valve doesn't want that. Sony doesn't want that. Nintendo doesn't want that because that's how they became big. That's why they're reliable, because those are storefronts that people purchase stuff on. So Microsoft putting that on there, they're going to be like, no, because people on my platform, they're going to be buying games. I don't want that here. So that's going to be hard. I don't think that Gabe would accept that. Just telling you, that's probably why that's not going to happen. So at that point, then Microsoft has to ask them for help. And that's what's happening. So makes more sense. No normal PC gamer is installing their games on Steam just to boot up Xbox PC to hit play. Okay, yes. That's why we're getting to this. That's where he said something that actually makes sense. And everybody knows this. This is common sense. Why the hell would I do that? So the problem is that Valve isn't going to want to do that, even for an increased share. No, they're not going to, because you're trying to train everything on Steam to think like that. And even Steam players are going to just be like, no, I have the Xbox app for that. That's why I said that vice versa. It doesn't mean anything on PC. This is only going to mean something if it leads to the next gen console. Now, so I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Then I can sit there and, mess around with the PlayStation fanboys. But if you jump the gun, guys, then you give them videos to farm off in the future. What happened? It didn't come. Now Microsoft made you look like a fool. You see what I mean? That's why I don't do what I do. Because I'm seeing now as they keep on like showing me stuff, I'm like, yeah, but you talked about the aggravated library the other day with the Play Anywhere. But the thing with the aggravated library is, once again, you're just saying that I can do everything on multiple storefronts through your service on PC. But when I went down to the Xbox update, you just got widgets. I can move around things. Once again, like I try to tell you on that Play Anywhere video. I try to tell you the same thing about the other video with the AMD. If this is not going to the consoles, then all they're doing is confusing people and making things more complicated when it doesn't need to be complicated. That makes me look at them as morons. Because what are you doing then? Because once again, like it's like you want to get excited for this, but where does it say that this is leading to the next console? Just don't want to get you guys' hopes up. If it doesn't, I'm going to be okay because I'm on PC. I'm not relying off of it. That's why I said I don't care. And I'm just covering everything. So that right there is where things make 100% sense. Now going over to this, says Microsoft's Xbox PC launcher gets going with Steam, Epic, and other games showing up. like kind of like an extension. Like you just hit the little thing and it's there, kind of like with Discord and all that. That would be cool if I knew that it would work that way, but that's not guaranteed. Microsoft wants to have a main PC gamer launcher app on Windows, and that's literally all this is. They just want you to pull up their stuff to use other people's icons over others. But if that's the case of this, that's stupid. It's not going to work. Microsoft announced earlier this week that it would start testing its new aggravated gaming library. That's what I was just talking about. On the Xbox app for Windows, and it's now starting to show up because they were telling you to play all across multiple devices and all that. And these people were thinking that they're talking about the console. Said, no, man, they're talking about PC. And I was exactly right. Look at this. Where does it say the console's at? You're not getting this on the Series X. So the only thing you can think about is this next-gen console going to be able to do this? And is it going to be a PC Xbox? And why did you tell me it was going to be a console, but really it's going to be a hybrid PC? It's like people want to say the same thing for the Asus ROG Ally. That's the console. If they're playing that games, they're just talking about PC. That's why I said what I said. And a lot of you that are watching, you know I'm right. See? That's all I was telling you. I was right. And then that would be terribly disappointing, wouldn't it? And you've been misled this whole time to believe that Steam is coming to consoles when really this was just about trying to get back in the PC market and put things in a PC perspective. Guys, if they're doing this, dear Lord, what is the point of the next console then? If it doesn't have Steam and all that. That's what I'm trying to question. And I hope that it does get Steam. I would like that for everybody. See, that's what I want. I don't want you to not have Steam. What I don't want is them deceiving you, having all this stuff, and then you're never getting it. I'm not the bad guy then. And I never was. Of course not. So yeah, let's keep reading though, because you're gonna see this. I'm just trying to show you what I'm reading and what my eyes are seeing, and I'm not falling for this shit. But obviously I don't need it because I told you I have my PC, so it doesn't matter to me. But for you guys, I want you to just understand what I understand. Okay. Okay, so it says right here, all these new library experiences, see across multiple library storefronts. Like I was saying, Steam, Battle.net, Ubisoft, Epic Games, and Riot Games titles are installed on a PC. It did not say console. I can already do this shit though. From various other launchers, much like GOG Galaxy. I've been trying out the experience today and found that Microsoft automatically detects install games and lists them in your library in the Xbox app, along with a relevant thumbnail or icon and the name of the launcher where the game was installed from. While the thumbnails could do with some work in this beta app, you'll get an option to play the game or see it in the relevant launcher. You can also hide games from the different PC stores if you don't want to see them listed in the Xbox app. So you see what I mean? Xbox, PC. Multiple storefronts across all your devices, including ROG Ally. Didn't say Xbox consoles, though. Yeah, it's disappointing, isn't it, if that's what it is. This integration simply lists the games, and you won't get Xbox achievements because it's not integrated on the Xbox operating aspect. That's why I said you're just using PC storefronts and launching them and putting the icon on the Xbox storefront. That's it. That's literally all this meant. All they were talking about so far. That's what I'm seeing. You haven't shown me anything else? Show me something else. If not, then oh my God, bro, I'm done with them. The consolidated library is part of Microsoft's effort to make the Xbox app on Windows the home of PC gaming, not Xbox consoles, and to improve the handheld experience on Windows. I don't see a single console thing here. Okay. Speaking of Microsoft's work to improve the Windows handheld experience, he didn't say console. I've had multiple people tip me this week that the Xbox full screen experience settings have randomly appeared on their existing ROG Allies. This is the post that he said earlier. Microsoft confirmed at The Verge earlier this month that existing devices like the ROG Ally will get full screen Xbox experience at some point. That'd be cool. And it looks like the company is already starting to test that on some devices. I'm confident that this is a bug showing the settings, as the new ROG Ally Xbox devices aren't due until later this year, and they'll launch with the new experiences first. If you're interested in testing a new consolidated library, you don't need to wait until later this year. You just need to have the Xbox Test app installed, which is a simple downloading the Xbox Insider Hub on PC, so you guys can do it right now. I'm not going to do it because what's the point? That's pointless to me. I do not want to make things more complicated. So I have Steam right there. Why would I do that? You know what I mean? Just do this and play what I need to play. Why would I launch up and then launch up this and have both running in the background? No. Doesn't make any sense to me. No, I want to see this go to the console. And you say, whatever I'm doing here is coming to the console. I'm like, oh, okay, okay, that's cool then. All right. Because that's a game changer for a console. You know what I mean? Then it's like, okay, I know you're not specifically just a console, you're a PC hybrid. You know what I mean? Even now you're AMD PCs, right? Mid AMD PCs. You know, you got stuff going on. But yeah, once they get that going, then yeah, this video could actually just be like, yeah, okay, it's time to make a new video and get very excited then. And then I can have something to really go off of. But if not, then yeah, this makes them look very weak and they're just gonna get slammed and made fun of. So let me know what you think. If you guys have some new information that I don't have, if you think that this is gonna come 100% for sure to consoles, let me know. But I'm gonna tell you, be careful with that because you never know. This is not guaranteed, but I hope that it leads to that for you guys so that you can get those extra games and just be able to game and have more gaming options as a gamer. You know what I mean? So yeah, I didn't say anything hateful here. I just said that if Microsoft is doing this for PC gamers, then PC gamers are just going to be annoyed at you and be like, what the hell are you doing? But if you're doing this for your Xbox console players in the future, then this is amazing. If not, it's just you continuing to be idiots and you're just annoying me. All right, y'all, peace out. Hopefully it's for the players on Xbox right now because you guys deserve that for suffering with them for so long. All right, peace out, y'all. Have a great day.